Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon, I guess it is right now. We're getting kind of close to that evening, but it's good to see you anyway. By the way, I'm Old Dead Man, your host. Welcome to the channel. We're going to get right into our Memorial Day stream today, and we got a few things we want to talk about as we go, but we're going to be playing some War Thunder. We're going to be talking about patriotism. We're going to be talking about perhaps some of the Medal of Honor recipients that have that would represent everything that is what Memorial Day is about. So let's go ahead and get started here. I do got some gaming to do here, and so let's go ahead and start with that, and then I'll pick up with some kind of talking about the Pledge of Allegiance a bit, which some of you may be unfamiliar with. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, I've put together a bunch of U.S. lineups. Memorial Day is I wouldn't say necessarily uniquely, but quintessentially United States holiday. And this is there's Veterans Day, which is in the fall, which is to kind of celebrate those who served the country and lived to tell the tale. And then there is Memorial Day, which has the opposite purpose in that it celebrates or remembers those who gave their lives in the service of the United States. So let's go ahead and start off with some, I decided the M3 Bradley was a good representative for today. We're going to go ahead and start with that and see what kind of excitement we can get into in the game. And then I'll talk about things between matches.
Into your vehicle!
Ready up. Driver ready. Gunner ready.
All right, so we got the M3 Bradley here. We got ourselves a little bit of a crew. Nothing really amazing here, but hi, Mr. 1128. I wasn't expecting that right then. No, I did put together some vehicles that I have not spaded yet as well, so we're going to just have some fun and also talk about some things that are a little more serious. Obviously, you guys know by now that I grew up in the United States. I'm from a very patriotic family. I had relatives that served in elected office. You probably know by now I had relatives who served in the military, some of which during major conflicts. Both of my grandfathers served during World War II. Both of them survived, so nothing. They are more celebrated than Veterans Day, but there is. They have some comments. I'll put it that way. I'll talk about this again. Cleared it off. Somebody else has. What do we got? Oof. Okay, thank you for the heads up. Hang on a second. How's that? Let's see. Flip it back over here. Is that any better, Moxie? Thank you for the heads up. Looks like it got cranked up the last time I played here. Looks like it could probably go down even farther, to be honest. Is that any better? Anyway, as I was saying, is that I've got a lot of things I want to... Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you, Moxie. Appreciate the heads up. What I was saying when the game sounds were really loud is that I have got father and grandfathers who all served in the military. Both my grandparents served during World War II, and as I mentioned, they both survived. So, woof, somebody just fired something at me. Woof. What was it? What was it? Okay, there's somebody right about in there somewhere. No. And hits. No destroy. Oh, dang it, I just overloaded my own wings. Dang it, I forgot this thing does that. Okay, so we're going to try and bring this thing back here. Ouch! Well, okay, the plane's down. So I'm going to be talking on this Memorial Day about a lot of things. My parents, my father and my grandparents had some commentary when they were, my grandparents when they were alive, and my father now. That I think really kind of bears with the Memorial Day theme. So while we're closing up here, I do want to start off with something unusual that doesn't normally happen in a gaming stream. In particular, I want to talk about the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll only be a few minutes on this, and I'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance while I'm doing so. But understand this is not intended to be like this is meant to be patriotic. Not meant to be mocking in any way, shape, or form. So I want you to know that this is done with all of the positive intent that I can think of, because not very many people get the opportunity to talk about these types of things. So let's go ahead and switch over to this guy right here. This is talking about the Pledge of Allegiance, where it came from, and what it kind of, a little bit about where it kind of means. The Pledge of Allegiance was written in 1892 by a socialist minister, but it wasn't intended specifically for the United States. They were hoping it would be used by citizens of all countries. This would be Francis Bellamy. And it started in its original form as, I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Later, they added the flag of the United States of America, and even more interestingly, they added under God in 1954. But what I thought was really an interesting story is that I didn't even know. Originally, you were supposed to start the Pledge of Allegiance with a regular salute. And then, when you got to a certain part of it, you were supposed to extend your arm straight out with the palm down and point it towards the flag. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Because it actually was similar enough to the Nazi salute that they actually removed that part of it and changed it entirely to putting your hand over your heart and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance here. So bear with me as I get stood up here and change over to the correct microphones and things, because I'm going to be stepping away from this. All right. Now, I do have a U.S. flag there behind me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, when I was a school kid, when I was in elementary, middle, high school, that was how this was done every single school day, and everybody was expected to rise and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And the intent is to encourage patriotism. And I will state that I think that if you're going to have a nation that is standing on foundational principles, having a Pledge of Allegiance is absolutely appropriate. In the United States, adding with liberty and justice for all really makes this more than just the United States, something that carries a farther in overall the world at large. Now let's go ahead and do another match here. I just really butchered that first match with the M3A3 Bradley. Let's try one more for the fun of it. Memorial Day itself is about paying respects to the fallen, those who have given their lives in service of the United States. That's what Memorial Day is about. Veterans Day is in the fall. It's for those who survived to tell the tale, and is meant for anybody who has served or serves or has served in the past. So it's really much more of a celebratory day. Memorial Day itself is far and away a more introspective day. Now, most people do think of Memorial Day as, oh, look at that, we're going to spend time at the pool, or we're going to go into barbecue, we're going to do all the get together, we'll wave a few flags, we'll hoorah and hurrah and all this kind of stuff. But then it's mainly about spending time with family and friends and barbecuing and things like that. And I will admit that today we actually went to the lake and swam for a bit, but it wasn't for Memorial Day. It was for my wife's birthday, which is coming up shortly here. And with her working and with me working, we had to take the opportunity to celebrate when we had a day off. But Memorial Day itself is really dedicated to those who gave their all to support those principles of liberty and justice for all. Something that in my experience, people don't think about hardly at all, much less enough to truly respect what it means. Okay, that guy's dead, so I don't have to worry about him. And it's that pledge that I think is the starting point for understanding what motivates Memorial Day. It's beyond, like I said, just the individual. It's beyond even the United States as a nation. It's a declaration of principle. And yes, it's a pledge to the nation involved with it. But more than that, it's a pledge to this idea of liberty and justice. And that is not to belittle all of the aspects that relate to... Hi! Thank you very much. I really need to be knocked around like that. That was perfect. And that's not to belittle the United States, because the United States is an amazing country. I absolutely, and this is of course just me here, I believe it's the best nation on the earth. It's got its problems. I acknowledge that. And yet in the end, it's the principles it stands for that make the difference. Don't get me started on political parties, because that's not today's topic. The real key, though, is that this patriotism is I think what motivates and encourages the thought process, the willingness to make that extra step to give your life in service of those principles. Many of the men who received the Medal of Honor have received it posthumously, and that's because the acts they did were so heroic and so valorous that they truly put it all on the line for their nation. And I've got several stories from the Vietnam War era, and I'll tell you why in a moment. This is not, by the way, a political statement on any particular war or anything like that. The reason I chose the Vietnam era is because my own father served on an aircraft carrier, and as he says, this was right before... Sure, I can lower it a little bit more here. A second, we'll get some black screen. Well, get some different screen. Try that and see if that does any better for you. He served in right before the start of the Vietnam War. And you think, okay, well then obviously he really wasn't involved. That's not how things worked at the Vietnam War. You see, there were hostilities going on well before the start of the official start of the war. So while he, as he put it like that, Just because there was no war declared does not mean we weren't being shot at. And from the reports that I understand, they were frequently being shot at. So, this idea that just because it's outside the bounds of a declared war, that there is nothing shooting at you, is absurd on its face and important to acknowledge. But it also means that, to a certain extent, that my father's service as a missile man on a UN. Hello. That was a surprise. As a missileman is not considered to be service during an active war. Still, as he said, they were still shooting at us anyway. And thankfully my father survived. He certainly saw plenty of things. And there's a Bo 105, not a surprise there. But I asked him if he had any particular thoughts that would be appropriate for Memorial Day in this regard. And before I talk about what he said, I do want to share that one of the memories I have from when I was an adult, long after I'd left home and have since moved close enough to regularly see my father again. We had a church event, Memorial Day church event, which was different than your normal church events. I mean, normally, you get together, you eat some potato salad, you sing a few songs, you play a little bit of football or whatever, and you talk about some gospel, blah, blah, blah. This was for Memorial Day, and so we actually had a 21-gun salute. And my father, who was himself a veteran, was asked to participate as one of the men firing that 21-gun salute. And it kind of put into stark relief the fact that my father had at one point in time signed that, given that pledge that basically says, I did it again. Stupid wings are going to overload every time. I keep forgetting that this thing overloads the wings. That he had given his pledge that said basically, I offer my entire life, including the giving of the life itself, to defend the United States of America. So that takes me kind of the next thing I want to talk about for a moment or two here. And he said, when you went into the service, you swore with an oath to defend the country and Constitution from all enemies, foreign or domestic, basically giving your life over to the government. So that kind of made me think for a little bit, what does that actually mean? What is this oath? So I looked it up. And I have to admit, I've always heard talked about in that regard, and never actually spent the time to determine what it was. I've never taken this oath because I've never served in the military. And that's one of the things that looking back on my life, I often think that perhaps I should have. Maybe one of the regrets. But here are the oaths of enlistment and oaths of office. And these have gone through some changes. And we're going to go back for a brief moment to 1775. This was the Continental Army, their oath as an enlisted man joining the Continental Army of 1775, before the United States was anything more than a dream and a rebellion. I have this day voluntarily enlisted myself as a soldier in the American Continental Army for 1 year, unless sooner discharged, and I do bind myself to conform in all instances to such rules and regulations as are or shall be established for the government of the said army. Now, there's a few things missing there that those of us who have heard this oath for a bit, there's no talk about a constitution. Well, it didn't exist. There wasn't any talk about the United States and all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's because the United States did not yet truly exist. But on 1776, it was rephrased. I swear or affirm, as the case may be, to be true to the United States of America, and to serve them honestly and faithfully against all their enemy opposers whatsoever, and to observe and obey the orders of the Continental Congress and the orders of the generals and officers set over me by them. They have a separate one for officers themselves, and that's a much longer here. Went through several revisions here. And I think we're going to just kind of skip on by most of it because the real meat of this one is for enlisted men. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, so help me God. I noted a difference, though, between that of enlisted and officers. I, having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States, as indicated above in the grade of rank, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. What a difference between these two oaths. For the enlisted man, there is no implication that they're doing this of their free will. That's because we had a draft at various points in time, so there is no necessary requirement that this be truly of their free will, but that they are honoring and pledging that they will bear true faith and allegiance to the United States Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. This is what makes this interesting. They don't actually pledge to the United States as a nation, but to the Constitution of the United States. And with the officers on top, they have to do it freely, without reservation or evasion. That is the oath that the men and women who have given their all made. Check payable in full to Uncle Sam, to the Constitution of the United States, to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. So let's go ahead and move forward with another match here. We can come back to that, the next one. I'm just going to move on from the Bradley. Well, you know, I could do the Bradley one more time, but I've got a little bit more current battle lineup here. Let's go ahead and get over to the Abrams. The Abrams and the A-10. And initially I thought I was going to throw in like an F-16, but I only had the early one, so I thought I'd throw in this F-15, which I have literally not flown at all. Let's go ahead and jump in here with the SEP V2 and see what kind of damage we can do. Now that's my father's commentary. And I pursued the commentary about my grandfather and my grandfathers on both sides. And for context, one of the things that my mother and her siblings expressed is that my grandfather on my mother's side was called into war for World War II. And he served for 1 year at the end of World War II on the USS Independence. Yeah. He started as a fireman first class. Nope. That's my other one. Hang on a second. Let me get Let me get my facts straight here before I continue on. It's more important to me that it be accurate in this case than anything else. He went into the Navy, and I'll try and read this as we play here. By the way, this SEP V2 is not even close to spaded. Whoops! I got somebody right there. Okay. So 1 year in the Navy. Dad never talked much about his days in the U.S. Navy during World War II. Mom said he came back from the war a much changed man, having no time for frivolity. Woo! I'm getting beat up over here. No time for frivolity. He said life is too serious. By the way, I'm going to die. I only have the one fire extinguisher, and I can't repair while I'm on fire, so I'm just waiting for them to beat me up and move on from that. Being a post-war child, says my mother, I knew nothing of this. In his personal and family history he was still writing at the time of his death, he recorded only this. I went to the Navy after going to school a while in St. Louis, Missouri. We went back to Oklahoma to have the family stay with my wife's family until the war was over. I was sworn into the Navy May 4th, 1944, and our first son was born August 30th, 1944. I did not see him until he was 6 weeks old, and then the next time I saw him, he was over a year old. And I served in the Asiatic Pacific area. The time seemed longer than it was because times were rough and I was homesick often. I was discharged in Oklahoma City November 20th, 1945.
Thank you very much.
There's a lot that went on with the independence in that time frame. My mother's sister said, I know Mom said that Dad used to wake up at night with nightmares for a while. She said Dad started smoking while he was in the Navy, and when he came back, Mom told him that if he smoked, she was going to smoke too. And because he did not want Mom to smoke, he quit. I did not know the other stuff about his Navy service except the first, where Dad came home a changed man. He was never again the happy-go-lucky person that he used to be. Mom was not able to tease with him the way she used to. He turned very serious. War can change a man. And, in fact, frequently does. The end result is still... Okay. I see what looks like.
Altitude, over G, pull up. Altitude, pull up.
We no longer have the advantage.
Over G, pull up. Over G, pull up.
Okay, come on. Yes, over G.
Pull up.
Okay, so now we're down on the deck. We can get a little more serious here. Okay. So war can change a man, and this is what a survivor of war came back as, not as the happy-go-lucky young man that he entered the military as.
Pull up. Pull up.
But as a serious, no humor left.
Lock.
I'll take it. And he was one of the survivors. But there are many who gave their lives for it, and it is speculated that in his time on the Independence, that he witnessed many deaths. He was a fireman first-class electrician's mate. And fire on board a ship is horrifying. The odds are, in that 1 year of service, that he probably saw more dead sailors than any man should ever witness in his life. The Independence received 8 battle stars for its service in World War II. So, that is a ship that saw some serious action. So let's go ahead and move on. Sorry I'm getting a little teary over here. I was intending for this to be at least a little bit more upbeat and positive than that. But before I jump any further, let's go ahead and spend just a moment here. And I'm going to go and grab a Medal of Honor recipient story here. And this is David Robert Ray. He was Hospital Corpsman Second Class of the U.S. Navy during the Vietnam War for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty while serving as a hospital corpsman with Battery D 2nd Battalion at Phu Loc 6 near An Ho. During the early morning hours, an estimated battalion-size enemy force launched a determined assault against the battery's position and succeeded in effecting a penetration of the barbed wire perimeter. The initial burst of enemy fire caused numerous casualties among the Marines, who had immediately manned their howitzers during the rocket and mortar attack. Undaunted by the intense hostile fire, Corpsman Ray moved from parapet to parapet, rendering emergency medical treatment to the wounded. Although seriously wounded himself while administering first aid to a Marine casualty, he refused medical aid and continued his life-saving efforts. While he was bandaging and attempting to comfort another wounded Marine, Corpsman Ray was forced to battle 2 enemy soldiers who attacked his position, personally killing one and wounding the other. Rapidly losing his strength as a result of his severe wounds, he nonetheless managed to move through the hail of enemy fire to other casualties. Once again, he was faced with the intense fire of oncoming enemy troops, and despite the grave personal danger and insurmountable odds, succeeded in treating the wounded and holding off the enemy until he ran out of ammunition, at which time he sustained fatal wounds. Corpsman Ray's final act of heroism was to protect the patient he was treating. He threw himself upon the wounded Marine, thus saving the man's life when an enemy grenade exploded nearby. By his determined and persevering actions, courageous spirit, and selfless devotion to the welfare of his Marine comrades, Corpsman Ray served to inspire the men of Battery D to heroic efforts in defeating the enemy. His conduct throughout was in keeping with the finest traditions of the U.S. Naval Service. As I said, Memorial Day is not about hot dogs, ice cream, and football games, baseball games. It's about those who gave their all for liberty and justice for all. And yes, I do apologize. I'm getting all stuffed up and choked up, and I don't want you to think this is all meant to be tears and things like that. But on Memorial Day, I think that it's important that we recognize this is not just a day for frivolity. And I hope that you understand why I'm doing what I'm doing here, because I honor and respect those who gave all. I honor and respect those who offered to give all as well. Let's go ahead and play a PT boat for a bit, and there's somebody that we'll talk about after that. To make a little bit of sense there. Understanding that there are heroes in every division, in every branch of the military. And there are heroes that will do anything to save those around him. So, I don't often play naval. It will probably take a little bit for a match to pop up. And so what I'll do is, while that's happening, I will go in, while it's queuing up, I'll hear when it does. I'll go in and pull up the story of David George Gillette, seaman in the U.S. Navy in the Vietnam War on March 6, 1967. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty. As the forward machine gunner on River Patrol Boat 124, which was on patrol during the early evening hours, Seaman Ouellette observed suspicious activity near the riverbank, alerted his boat captain, and recommended movement of the boat to the area to investigate. While the PBR was making a high-speed run along the riverbank, Seaman Ouellette spotted an incoming enemy grenade falling toward the boat. He immediately left his protected position of his gun mount and ran aft for the full length of the speeding boat, shouting to his fellow crew members to take cover. Observing the boat captain standing unprotected on the boat, Seaman Ouellette bounded onto the engine compartment cover and pushed the boat captain down to safety. In the split second that followed the grenade's landing, and in the face of certain death, Seaman Ouellette fearlessly placed himself between the deadly missile and his shipmates, courageously absorbing most of the blast fragments with his body in order to protect his shipmates from injury and death. His extraordinary heroism and his selfless and courageous actions on behalf of his comrades at the expense of his life were in the finest traditions of the U.S. Naval Service. I don't know that I can even express what that truly means. But on the plus side, we've got a PT boat right here, and we've got ourselves a naval map. Let's jump in here and have some fun while thinking about that. These are the type of young men, and if you look at those pictures, you realize how young they were. Some of you are probably in that same age range right now.
Captain has the con. Collision alert.
But they wrote the check.
Somebody attack him.
Payable up to and including my life.
Motion, make condition 1.
To protect and serve the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Could you imagine somebody on a boat kind of like this? A grenade could be devastating to a boat this size. It's not the size of the boat that matters. It's the size of the fight and the men that matter. All right, where are those enemy guys? We're ready to blow something up. I've been doing a crappy job of playing while I've been sitting here with waterworks in my eyes, so it's time to turn things around.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder, aye aye.
Okay, I think we're most likely going to see somebody right about in that area there, so I'm going to go ahead and turn.
Hard rudder.
Left hard rudder, aye aye. Boat. 2,000 meters.
Target
There it is.
identified.
Lead down. One hit, not good enough. Roll back.
Over. Steady as you go.
Holding course, aye aye. Boat. Ahead. 1,000 meters.
I agree.
Now, for those that are watching, how many of you are from the United States here? Are you, and how many of you guys from overseas?
Right standard rudder, aye aye.
Collision.
Or, I guess, not inside the United States, because there are parts that are not overseas from us, like Canada and Mexico, and technically all of South America and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and proceed to the south here. And see if... Oh, that's a little above my pay grade. That's a lot above my pay grade. Whoa! And I am not a torpedo boat, so let's move. I'm just going to quietly keep going.
Target identified.
And he's seen me. And he's firing his main forward gun. Oh! Ooh.
Left standard rudder.
Hard right.
Destroy the target.
And he's got two guns out. Come on, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Woo! Yeah, these guys are a little above my pay grade as a patrol boat with no torpedoes. So, what am I going to do about it? Well, I'm going to go park behind this rock right here. Which, if I understand correctly, yes, it's perfect shape for it. Now, he knows where I'm at, so it's not like there's going to be any... Whoops, yes, I know.
Right. Hard. Rudder. Engine 1/3.
All right, so we're going to pull this thing around, and we're going to back up because that's got my better gun.
Ready as you go.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
Destroy the target.
So there's already an enemy airplane up. Now, I don't see where these guys are at, so I'm going to drop artillery right about in there. And if I'm lucky, if I'm really lucky, I'm going to find somebody who is not paying attention. I'll be able to sidle right up to him and literally stick the barrel in the side of his hole and start pulling the trigger. I don't know, might work, might not.
Right. Standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
But it'll be entertaining either way.
Destroyer. 2,000 meters.
Okay, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, come on, you guys. There we go. Right. Let's get those torpedoes blown up there. Nice! Oh, how did I get a lick field?
3,000 meters.
Oh, oh man.
Attack the enemy.
Well, that's a great question. A D-Day anniversary, 80th anniversary, I expect there'll be a lot of events going on to keep track of.
Attack him.
I don't know what I'm going to do for it yet, but I want to do something for it because it feels like it's important enough that it needs a little bit of special commemoration. Do you guys have any thoughts? What would you like to see for D-Day? Now, I talked about my grandfather on one side. My grandfather on the other side served from 1937 through World War II. That's my father's father. Whoops, there's somebody on Charlie. Let's poke my nose around the corner here and see if there's any. Oh my. What do we got here?
Destroyer.
Oh, dang it. Well, okay, he's tied up. Let's go. Hit him with the things here. And pull ahead. Hit that main gun. Oh, not good. Move. Did an airplane just light me up? Is that what happened?
300 meters. Right, standard rudder.
Nope, somebody is, come on, give me faster.
Take him down.
I don't have control. Ah! All right, somebody right there.
Prepare.
And an airplane is coming, and there's the bomb. Woo, that is a big bomb. Somebody did not like me and did not like me at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in the... Now, the Candid's pretty slow, as I recall. It's probably the closest thing I have to something in a class that can face up to these to these destroyers, though. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Candid, and we'll see what we can do with it.
3,000 meters.
Rosen, make condition 1.
So my father's father, he served all through, and I don't have a whole lot of details on what he did. But, you know, it's funny that you would think with all this military history in the family that I would have a better idea what they did in their service. And I think that's a gap I need to think about as well. One story that was shared, well, for one thing, my father's father was a torpedoman on a destroyer. So he pointed out that one of the things that right there, 3.93 fire, he's going to be out of the way before I can get pull that right there. Hopefully be good though. So he was a torpedoman, and apparently I got a hit on that. Apparently men would come to him and ask him for some of the alcohol they used in the torpedoes, so they'd get drunk off the torpedo alcohol. But anyway, one of the stories that did share was that he was on a couple of destroyers. They used to pick up aviators who were shot down, and they trade the aviators for ice cream because they take them to the aircraft carrier. The aircraft carrier could make ice cream, so they definitely did that. Ooh, what do we got? The other thing you mentioned is that there was a, let's see, 2.38. Drop my aim a bit more. Fire. That should be a direct hit. Oh, a little bit low. Higher. Okay, we're probably going to need a switch to armor piercing at this point. Oh, did they just destroy it? Nope, not yet. It's still alive. Okay, that's now behind the rocks for me. Yeah, I mean, nobody accused these people of being the best and brightest in that regard. But they were right towards the end of the war. They had a kamikaze pilot make a run at them, and even though they shot him down, the plane shattered and left aircraft parts all on the fantail. That'd be the rear of the ship, where things like depth charges were stored. And of course, you get that kind of wreckage all on top of a little destroyer like that, it's going to kill some people. Of course, that would be even more emergency situations. So, my grandfathers both served during some of the harshest days of the end of the war, when the most horrendous things were going on. The kamikaze pilots, the desperate last gasps of the Japanese Empire, and their service is one of the things that I am proud of. Is not the right word, but I am thankful. All right, shoot the plane down, guys. Shoot the plane down. I got a Candid. I don't exactly have a whole lot of. Okay, good. He's doing that. So overall, you end up with that kind of a situation where the. Okay, I'll turn the volume down just a little bit more. The Bofors may be a bit loud, so let's see. War Thunder's a lot louder than I remember. Of course, normally when I'm recording, I'll adjust the volumes in that. That's a little bit quieter. Is that any better, Salsa? Okay, we are recovering this. I don't know that we're gonna. Whoa! What do we got over here? Come on, right there, and he is on fire. Fire there. Ah, too late. I didn't even get an assist on that. Oh my heavens! What's that behind that? Stern full. All right, we're just not going to stern. We're going to just hard right. Deepro says, Enterprise is sadly one that had fallen victim to one of these kamikaze pilots. Thankfully, it only blew up the front elevator, so they made it safely back into harbor. Yeah, the Big E was the hero of the Pacific, and it ended up, well, basically the only carrier that was still operational in the theater for way longer than it should have. So Enterprise was a hero no matter how you slice it. All right, something's shooting at me over here. I don't know what. Fix that. My heavens, that hard over. Flank ahead. Oh, that's the reason why. I was sitting there trying to stop while I'm moving. Come on, move, 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 move. You're already slow. I don't need to slow you down even more. And they were involved in some of those desperate early days when, with all the sunk battleships, where they were some of the only resources left in the Pacific that let the Americans fight back. As I recall, Enterprise was at every major encounter in the early war. I don't even know of any offhand. Guys, stop. Okay, there we go. There he is. Okay. And fire. I don't have much guns, but I'm going to fire what I got at you. Die, die, die. I don't have much on this thing, so it's not like I'm going to be able to. Oof. Okay, I got to stop fixing so I can get the fire put out, and then I can go back to fixing. All right, there's another ship over there. What am I supposed to do with this little stinky little... Okay. Oh, that's going to be a full broadside. Bad news. And I put... Well, it looked like I hit their gun turret, but doesn't do any good. Okay. We're still alive. We're still alive. All ahead full. Oh. I can't believe I managed to get out without getting far more damage than that. Come on, baby. We're going to switch over to high explosives again. Oh, they took out my main turret. Bail the water. And fix things up. Oof. Come on, come on, back behind the rock. We'll go first. Do the trick. Ooh, baby. I really can't believe I'm still alive. But yeah, those were desperate early days. There's a reason why that's often referred to as the greatest generation. The ones that sacrificed tremendously to stop the Japanese and the Germans in those desperate early days of the war. Okay, so I'm still moving. I'm not in wonderful shape. I've got 19% crew left. So he says, push C! Yeah, well, I'm trying. This thing does not exactly have a turbo mode. All right, we're getting in there. And start the cap. There we go. Oh, that is a little boat. I can do something about the little boat. Little boat. Fire there. That's going to be back too far. 2.73 there. And Hit. Nice. That's about right. Go up a little bit more and fire again. Okay, that's probably the last one I can do. Pop. Ooh, got a compartment.
6,000 meters.
Yeah, the candid is what you take when you just have way more to. Oh my heavens, we are in bad shape here. Da, da, da. Okay, so I'm going to bring in an airplane, bomb something for the fun of it. But yeah, Memorial Day is definitely worth far more than just a. It's more than just celebrating our veterans. It's celebrating those who gave it all. And that's what makes it different than any other related similar holiday that I've seen. I don't know. It felt like it, that's for sure. Let's see. That was USS Candid. Now I gotta hope I can sneak in there and get. Oh, there's 2 ships. There's 3 ships. Or is that a dead ship? I can't tell from here. No, that's a dead ship. That's probably my dead ship, to be really honest. Okay, and right here is about the right spot. Drop. Pull out. Ah, phooey. Too small to do anything. So we're gonna lose. I mean, honestly. Oh! Oh, that's not. Woo! Ouch, 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 ouch. Leave me alone, jerk. Where is the airfield? It's to the right. Okay. I did not hear about that deep road. Do you have some links that talks about it?
This time the enemy has proven stronger. Withdraw.
USS Candid was an admirable class minesweeper built for the United States Navy during World War II and in commission from 43 to 45. She was transferred to the Soviet Union, served after that in the Soviet Navy as T-283. Service history. There we go. Purchase that. We'll get that upgrade purchased. Let's see. Grab some smoke screen because the Candid's going to need it. Finish that. Okay. All right. She sailed through stormy waters to fog-bound ports in the Aleutian Islands, supporting United States Army units on the isolated islands and backing up U.S. Navy attacks on the Kuril Islands of northern Japan. She returned to San Francisco on 18 August 1944 and then went underway to the Marshall Islands for operations there and the Mariana Islands, providing local escort services in support of the consolidation of these islands and their development as bases for naval and air strikes against the Japanese. So she served in the Pacific Theater and was not involved in the Normandy landings. She was built too late for that. But that's why I kind of talked about the gunboats and things like that, because that one Medal of Honor recipient there that I happened to just find. Let's go ahead and talk about another Medal of Honor recipient here. Oh my heavens, yeah, that speed across the Pacific would be painful. So painful. So painful. Oh, man. All right, so let's talk about Marvin Glenn Shields, construction mechanic, 3rd class of the U.S. Navy, on June 10th, 1965. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty. Although wounded when the compoundment of Detachment A342 5th Special Forces Group Airborne 1st Special Forces came under intense fire from an estimated reinforced Viet Cong regiment employing machine guns, heavy weapons, and small arms fire. Shields continued to resupply his fellow Americans who needed ammunition and to return the enemy fire for a period of approximately 3 hours, at which time the Viet Cong launched a massive attack at close range with flamethrowers, hand grenades, and small arms fire. Wounded a second time during this attack, Shields nevertheless assisted in carrying a more critically wounded man to safety, and then resumed firing at the enemy for 4 more hours. When the commander asked for a volunteer to accompany him in an attempt to knock out an enemy machine gun emplacement that was endangering the lives of all personnel in the compound because of the accuracy of its fire, Shields unhesitatingly volunteered for this extremely hazardous mission. Proceeding towards their objective with a 3.5-inch rocket launcher, they succeeded in destroying the enemy machine gun emplacement, thus undoubtedly saving the lives of many of their fellow servicemen in the compound. Shields was mortally wounded by hostile fire while returning to his defensive position. His heroic initiative and great personal valor in the face of intense enemy fire sustain and enhance the finest traditions of the U.S. Naval Service. Not all of the people who died in war are ones that went to shoot their gun. He was part of a CB, a construction team. And plenty of those construction teams did fire their weapons and did fight hard, and they were noted for doing so. But still, whether you're a construction mechanic, an infantryman, or the captain of a combat vessel, you will be in harm's way. So that's another one of those conspicuous gallantry, the amazing things that we see in the men and women we ask to not just serve, but to give all if necessary. Let's go ahead and move on to another lineup here. I'm now on my M41, M48, M50. This would be probably Korean War era type stuff. Overall with the F-84s and the AH-1G. Not sure about the 1G, though. And the M163 might have been a little bit late for that, but still, this is kind of a compatible lineup and should be pretty good. Now, I love the M50. I'm not going to start with the M50. I'm going to start with the M48. We'll see what we can do with it. Let's go ahead and roll on into combat here. Now, the H1G is something that I could absolutely bring as a first spawn, and I probably should. In fact, I think if I get a second spawn on this, I will go ahead and bring that as my second spawn. So what do you think? What do you think of this unusual live stream I'm doing today? Is this something you appreciate? Is this something you want to see more of in the future? Let me know. It's unusual, but I think it's important to share those stories. And sometimes it's the right venue that needs to be talked about, and this might not be the right venue. I'd appreciate your commentary either way. But let's go ahead and bring this M48 in here. We're going to get a little bit busy here. The desert's not exactly, shall we say, the right environment for an M48 here. At least not from the U.S. perspective, because most of the stuff that they did with M48s would have been more jungle warfare, not necessarily desert stuff. But I do believe that M48s did end up serving, say, the Israeli military, either in their unmodified or in various modifications thereof. So it's not unusual for an M48 to be in a desert environment. Ooh, somebody's a little tied up. Let's see, can I get... Ooh, and boop. Thank you very much. I will take that kill. Okay, let's let the artillery finish, because that's what I just dropped. Did I just get another one? No. That's surely not a second one back there. What's with this wire? I see a wire. I see a wire. Why do I see a wire across here? Okay, wire's gone. Okay, let's see. Anybody over here? Quick glance behind me to make sure there's nobody sitting up there. I occasionally will see somebody sitting right there. But not this time. So that's all positive here. Let's see. Depro. I will look into that documentary. I think that sounds like it'll be interesting to look into. And I don't get the opportunity to approach these special days too often, but it's what little I can do to say thank you, I guess you can say. Moxie says, as a veteran myself, I appreciate your effort to put a light on all good men and women who pay the ultimate. Maybe I should have been paying a little more attention. Pay the ultimate price for their country. Oh, the game's muted? Okay, there we go. Game's back on. Okay, what am I going to bring? I'm going to bring some FFAR Mighty Mouse. I need to do a little bit of custom something or other. Ooh, or I could bring some. Nah, the 134s won't do me any good. I'll have to make a custom loadout on this thing if it'll let me. Yeah, the wrong buttons over here will mute the game audio. I use it every once when I'm doing. Okay, when I'm doing political live streams for a totally different channel, I tend to have the play a few videos here and there, but I don't want my computer audio to be always going out because you never know when something might pop up here. Okay, so we've got some rockets. We got an AH-1G. Let's do this thing. Let's see. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've flown a helicopter in War Thunder. Let's get my roll control onto manual, which I prefer. But yeah, it may not be the most ideal of tributes, but tribute it is. And I want to say that it is done with all due and possible respect that I can, with the hope that it will be accepted in the same vein. Now, maybe I should be doing something besides War Thunder for it, but, that's what I know and that's what I got. Okay, now I'm going to try and do a pounding pass on the sniper hill on their side. And then hope I can bail out of there. Let me see. What is the weapons? Okay, I'm on the rockets now. All right, we got some marks here. Let's drop a little bit. I don't think there's any AA guns yet. Okay. Oh, too high, too high. Woo-hoo-hoo! Let's keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Somebody's going to be trying to shoot me up right here. And, oh yeah, baby, right there. He's going to rip me up. All right, time to head back to the chopper, to the helipad. I haven't done an AH-1G pounding pass in a long time. And obviously I'm not very good at it anymore. Okay, let's see. There's the helipad right there. By the way, totally unrelated to the topic here, did you see that Fly Daily's back? I just caught that just as I was logging in this morning and checking things out. Oh yeah, it looked awesome. Totally worthless, but looked awesome. I wanted to get that BMP something fierce. Well, y'all know that I am a patriotic individual, and I am. Oops. Careful there, man. I really don't want to get in the middle. What are you doing? There's no air around here. Okay. But I also try and make it so it's understandable that I welcome everybody here. It's just a special day, and I want to make sure that it's treated extra special. The fact is that there are wonderful individuals in all nations of this world and they all have their own special days. I'm kind of scared of this guy, to be honest. Okay, yep, this guy's worrying me all right. But yeah, I'm a patriotic individual, and I am not afraid to say it, but you know, the channel's usually about having fun and being welcoming to everybody. This is a special case, I think. At some point in time, I'll find a way to don a French or a German hat or a British military hat, and be a little bit of patriotic for those other nations. But that's not today. Okay, enemy aircraft diving at sea. Okay, let's see. Are they coming over that A yet? That A hill yet? A hill. That sounds bad. Okay, let's see. Roll and stuff a little bit. And is there anybody in this area? Oh, right there. Okay, lower it. Got him. Ooh, 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 ooh. Somebody hit me. Somebody hit me. And... oh, he's already dead. Dang it. Oof. Oh, stay low, stay low, stay low, stay low. I'm taking enough hits. I better run back to base. I need to get repairs done. Whew. Yeah, they're expecting me now. Oh. Moxie, which branch of the military did you serve in? Somebody's still trying to shoot me. And it's a little bit concerning. Just a touch. Okay. I actually have a joystick over here, and I actually enjoy flying the helicopters with a joystick way more. But switching between joystick and everything else in War Thunder is such a pain. So I end up not really using it unless I'm going to play Sim for a while. Oof. That was not my smoothest landing at all, was it? Yeah, we are getting our butts kicked, but you know what? That's okay, because I got plenty of time to go back for another round. Oh, no, no, don't fall over. Don't fall over. Just a little bit of collective. That should keep me sitting upright, but still touching the runway. You know, you intel guys spook me just a little bit. Just saying. All the ones I know about are way too good at their jobs. I'll just put it that way. All right, we're going back for another round. Let's see. I took some fire from kind of between A and B, and possibly some from the A side spawn, but they were probably pulled out of there by the time I get over there again. I didn't see anybody on this side of Alpha. But possible. Be very helpful if somebody could mark a few targets for me. That'd be very nice right about now. Okay. I'm obviously spending way too much time talking and not enough time playing because I'm playing really bad. Okay, none there, none there, none there, none there. Okay. Ooh, somebody saw me. All right, we're going to try. Let's see. Can I come up just enough to be able to see over this hill and maybe spot something? Right there. But that looks a little bit large. And, oh, gee, hi, Geppard. Oh, gee. Oh, really? That's interesting. That's got to be quite some experiences there, Moxie. I'd love to hear more about that. Okay, so we're now at the point where it's basically not much left to be done, but I'm going to take my M50 and try and just do something. And, okay, mission's over. That is interesting. Yeah, I'd love to hear a lot more about that one, Moxie. I'm sure you've probably got a ton of stories to share, don't you? What kind of equipment did you run? We shall say it was interesting. Yes, I expect it was. I'm not too familiar with the Croatian War of Independence there. Now, that would have been... I hate to open my mouth and insert my foot. I do it so well, though. I mean, really. Okay, so I do have one more Medal of Honor recipient I want to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that here. There's actually plenty of living Medal of Honor recipients that I can also talk about from this era. One of which is particularly interesting, but that's not the theme for today. So let's go ahead and bring up the story of Wayne Maurice Caron, Hospital Corpsman, 3rd Class, U.S. Navy, Vietnam War, July 28th, 1968. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty, while serving as platoon corpsman with Company K during combat operations against enemy forces. While on a sweep through an open rice field, Corpsman Caron's unit started receiving enemy small arms fire. Upon seeing 2 Marine casualties fall, he immediately ran forward to render first aid, but found that they were dead. At this time, the platoon was taken under intense small arms and automatic weapons fire, sustaining additional casualties. As he moved to the aid of his wounded comrades, Caron was hit in the arm by enemy fire. Although knocked to the ground, he regained his feet and continued to the injured Marines. He rendered medical assistance to the first Marine he reached, who was grievously wounded, and undoubtedly was instrumental in saving the man's life. Corpsman Caron then ran toward the second wounded Marine, but was again hit by enemy fire, this time in the leg. Nonetheless, he crawled the remaining distance and provided medical aid for this severely wounded man. Corpsman Caron started to make his way to yet another injured comrade when he was again struck by enemy small arms fire. Courageously, and with unbelievable determination, Corpsman Caron continued his attempt to reach the 3rd Marine until he was killed by an enemy rocket round. His inspiring valor, steadfast determination, and selfless dedication in the face of extreme danger sustain and enhance the finest traditions of the U.S. Naval Service. It's insane, to put it simply, just how much these people love their fellow soldiers, love their country, enough to put it all on the line. And when it came time to cross the line, they stepped across willingly. You don't see anybody in a Medal of Honor report that says he thought about it twice. He paused for a moment. He held back. You don't see those things. That's because these men moved forward with purpose and with honor and with courage at all times. Because in a war, that's the way you get things done. The true heroes are the ones that don't stop moving, but keep moving, keep fighting, keep saving the lives of their comrades, and keep stopping the enemy from taking out their friends. Whether this is patriotism, love of country, or love of the men that they felt a bond with in the foxhole, the end result is still amazing heroism expressed. So let's go on with yet another lineup. We're going to use an M60, and I'm backing it up with an M551 and an M109A1. Yes, this is a drop in BR by a considerable amount, but that's okay because it's kind of thematically kind of matches up with what we're talking about here. 109, I think, is a little bit later than the M60 by a fair margin, actually, but the 551 is fairly close to contemporary, so should be a good lineup here. Some of these vehicles are ones I played when I was doing the Armed Forces Day stuff. So we're coming to the end of the main part of the Memorial Day stuff here. I've talked about pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I am thankful to those who have given their lives for our country. And for those who are considering putting their own name on the dotted line. If you have the courage and have the heart, and you have the desire to serve your country, absolutely do so. We have ahead of us hard times that are being exhibited in what we're seeing across the world. The era of relative peace is coming to an end, and I do mean the word relative very carefully, and we're seeing the effects of weak men. If you've not heard the saying before, the saying goes, good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. Hard times make strong men. And strong men make good times. And the cycle repeats. And right now we are in an era of weak men. There are many who are strong in that same vein, but the ones that are leading, I should say, very carefully, at least put in the positions of leadership, that's a better word, tend to be weak men. Oh, I forgot about this. Move. Okay, good. Deepro says, here where I live, sadly, one Army pilot had fatal accident in a MiG-21. He had flown too low and had... Oh, what am I doing here? Okay, we're good. Flown too low and had hit the trees and ended up in the forest. Sadly, it happened so fast that he couldn't eject. Even to this day, you can see the place where he had crashed, but new trees have almost grown back. The truth is, preparation for war is dangerous. War, of course, is even more dangerous. But we often forget that it's nearly as dangerous every moment you have somebody that's out on maneuvers, that's out in practicing with... Youch! Where was he? Yeah, interesting. Okay, we got somebody coming up behind us. It's just as risky in many ways when you are in the process of learning how to make war. So even though you're at peacetime, the moment you're putting that magazine in your rifle, the moment you're putting that artillery shell into the tube, the moment you are sliding into that tank, there are risks involved, and big ones. And therefore, even in times of peace, we can have those whose actions reflect the greatest traditions of heroism and patriotism that can be witnessed in our modern era. And that's my thoughts for today. I'm happy to play for a while longer. What would you guys like to see? And any particular lineups or vehicles, I'd be happy to jump in and have some fun with them. And hey, if you want to share stories, absolutely, I would love that as well. I want you to know, by the way, that I appreciate you guys. I'm very thankful to have you guys here. It's a little crew, a little faithful crew of people that are here today for a kind of a surprise live stream, you know, because I didn't really advertise this in advance. Honestly, I wasn't sure I wanted to do. Wanted's not the right word. I'm not sure I could do this. Wasn't sure I could do this justice.
We're controlling most of the zones.
And so I wanted to. I didn't want to just do it for haphazard reasons. I wanted to have real. I wanted to have real weight. Not just, oh, dude, I'm going to put together some content for War Thunder. Youch! Where'd he go? I saw it. Oh, there he is. Oof. Fire extinguisher. Okay, I actually don't have any damage that requires repair. Woo! Let's go ahead and grab another crew member while I've got the opportunity. Mainly, I wanted to find a way to express my respect for those that did so. So, let me know what you think as well. Requests for lineups, anything you want to see in particular, let me know. I'm watching. I got time. I still got time. Okay, so we move out of here, hopefully, without getting my head blown off. Okay, looks like we're pretty safe right now. Awesome. Anyway, I was trying to say earlier that Fly Daily's back. He's not posted anything new for 4 months, and today he put out a new video. Sounds like he's having had a little bit of a rough spell there. So if you are a Fly Daily fan, absolutely you might want to head over there and give him a little bit of love. Not that he knows me from Adam, but so much as ooh, what is that? Is that what I think it is? No, it's just a drone, probably.
1,000 meters.
I don't know, I keep feeling like that's going to be a helicopter, but no, it's just a drone. That Su-25 just went ahead and flew into that. Ooh, not over, not over. Ah, dang it. I hate that. Okay, let's move this way and... no go. Try this angle. And there we go. Where you got? Yeah, we don't got this. We don't got this. Better to get your stuff in order than to keep trying and failing to that was not good. Then trying and failing to sustain something while also suffering from other aspects of addiction. So yeah, absolutely. You know what? I haven't heard from European Canadian in forever. I'm sure he's been active. I just haven't seen any of his stuff come across my feed. I don't know what. are a lot of the old War Thunder content creators kind of bailing out at this point? Let me know, because I used to be kind of subscribed to several and watching them, and it seems like lately I've kind of had to peel back because I've got other things going on with my own life. But I've tried to keep my own content moving. Okay, so Tech's still pumping those videos like crazy. Well, good for him. He's a man of strong opinions. I'll put it that way. And I appreciate that fact. All right, let's back up and see if we can do something with this M3 Bradley for a little bit here. I figure we can play till about 6 o'clock. That'd be another half hour from now on my time. And at that point, I'll shut things down and we will call it a good day for the stream. Yeah, I've heard Spitz has been struggling for a while, mostly because the meta has gone almost entirely to ground RB, and I can tell you honestly, I can tell because often it takes a lot longer to get a match in air RB than it used to take at any BR level. On top of that, did you see that they have announced that they're going to put in the ability to request smaller air RB matches above 10.0? That's with the addition of the new Fox 3 missiles. They are going to add an option to select a smaller match size so that it's not completely insane in the air RB with all the missiles flying all over the place. I have to admit that's my primary concern with that announcement. But it's also going to mean, well, on the other hand, it could mean you get more matches, just they're smaller. So it might actually result in faster matchmaking. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, War Thunder is definitely not so much of the airplane thing it started with. And as a plane guy, I am, ironically, I'm not a big tank guy. In the sense of, I tracked a lot more about aircraft. I had a passion about aircraft that I did not have for tanks. But I've come to really love and enjoy. The main reason I go into air RB or air arcade at all lately has been I have a specific task that's easier to do than any of the other tasks in my daily task list.
Enemy forces have captured a zone. Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Oh, gee.
Forces have captured a zone.
You would be the one that drains tickets like that. I'm not surprised about that from you, Moxie. You just seem the type to do that. Actually, since I mostly play ground attackers or bombers, I totally get it. I'm the one that's either I'm the first airplane targeted because I'm hitting ground targets, and everybody's like, "Ooh, free meat," or it's more likely that they will, or I'll just survive the whole thing. Basically, if my team's going to win, I won't be dead in the first few minutes. Oh, not good, not good, not good, not good, not good. Yeah. Oh. That did not go well. I'm kind of surprised. I was not expecting a leopard right there. It was an unusual place to find a leopard. The thing that I found after a while was that I enjoy the dogfights in ground RB far more than the air RB dogfights. One of the things is that spotting is not automatic. You have to find the dot and you have to chase down the dot yourself. And I found that worked a lot better for me. But when I would get into a dogfight, a genuine dogfight, I found that the quality of the pilots tended to be much higher in ground RB than they were in air RB. And on top of that, the advantages that people would have in Air RB, as in they'd spend their time. Ouch! Okay, I see how it is. I'm catching on to what you're putting down there. Let's go ahead and drop a spot, a mark in that area there.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Anyway, because the advantages that Air RB would give people who decided to just spend all their time climbing were negated in a lot of ways by ground RB. So,
The enemy is winning. We've got to carry
really? Well, that was a short match now, wasn't it? And I'm out of... fine, I'll bring it back up. There you are. Nope, that's a plane. Come on. Boop! That's the Su-25. Now, where's that chopper? He's to this direction. Good, somebody shot him down. Now that actually brings me enough to bring an M60 in. Okay, looks like we're going to have to go around Alpha to try and bring anything out of this. And do I have... I do. Good. Scan. Somebody to the right. There's somebody to the right. What's to the right? That chapel is to the right. And that used to be a place that people would sit all the time. Let's pop up and see if we can see. I don't like this. My vision. Check. No. Aha! Dang it! Where are you at? Yeah, they do really like me today. Yeah, they've over in ARB, they don't ignore attackers anymore. It just isn't happening. It doesn't matter how quiet you are, or how wide you swing, or anything like that. Used to be when I was first playing War Thunder, I could take a B-17. I could skirt the edges of the map. Of course, this was back when bombing the base targets and then bombing the airfield was a legitimate strategy. And I would skirt the edges of the map, and I'd come in around, and every once in a while somebody would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go find the guy swinging wide around there." But most of the time, you'd get all the way through, and you would find that you could drop your bombs and then return to base. And when it was when I could tell I was the last guy or was going really badly for my team, I then knew all the places where you could land your plane and then J out and not have the full cost of losing the whole plane. So that was that meant that if I like dropped my bombs on the enemy base and I was the last person alive, instead of stretching out the match, I could land, J out, and then we could all get into another match where, new opportunities would show up. So, but that was a long time ago. And the game has vastly diverted from what it was back then. I'm getting the feeling that rather than going into Alpha and trying to get the cap zone, I'm going to go down here. And this is usually the risky part right here. Yeah, right there. Oh, I got a cannon breach just a little too late. I forgot I got the top-down attack munitions there. You know what? I'm bringing the backup. I am totally bringing the backup. Let's do that again.
Attention to the map.
But yeah, RRB back then, I actually think it was a lot more fun. Nowadays, it's pretty much, you know, everybody, they've moved all the ground targets right into the middle of the map. You don't really have any real options. Ooh, right there.
Attention to the
Okay, I've got a top attack munition here. Enjoy. And the cannon breach is dead again. And your track is now shot out. Give me some more missiles, please.
enemy is winning.
Ooh, I can bring it a little bit closer. Let's drop it down a little bit. Oh, that did not... Ooh! Oops. That was not what I was intending to do. There we go. Now I'm going to have to get a reload on that. Yeah, I forgot you could force it to go a little bit lower than the top attack would normally do. So that worked out perfectly. All right, let's see. Oh! Somebody's just earned my ire. You're going down. Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Okay, right there. Come on. Oh, come on. Four and a half kilometers. Let's see. That's a good estimate right there. That. Come on, I know I got APFSDS in there. You should be able to... And there it is. Okay.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
That's right. No. Where are you? Where are you? Snot-nosed helicopter, where are you?
Report.
Okay, that's a friendly helicopter. Did he go down or did he just dive out of the way? I gotta get... Okay, so we know we're looking for a T-72. sitting about in there somewhere. Oh, come on! That's getting stupid. Okay. All right, let's. Yeah, I gotta. Dang it! Jerks looking right in the spawn. But yeah, the ARB has changed a great deal, and I don't think for the better. The old style of ARB back in the good old days really had a certain charm to it. And I don't think they have duplicated that since. Of course, back then, bombers really had a purpose. Now they don't really have a purpose at all. And so Gaijin has gradually eliminated the purpose for half the vehicles in the air RB matches, which is why ground RB is important. But, you know, I'm okay with that. In the end, we're here to have fun. I'm here to play the game, and that's what I'm going to do.
Driver ready. Gunner ready.
You know, it used to be you had a sniping position up there, and there was an equivalent sniping position on the other side. So you got the sniping wars on this thing. I hated those. But I also hate the fact that Gaijin is artificially limiting a lot of the options on maps, too. All right. Yeah, actually, I know a Bradley commander, and I actually had a friend of mine that talked with on a regular basis these days. Whoops. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Oh, come on! There was a tree there. How did you even see me? Yeah, they really do like me. What can I say?
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
I am a ripe target for pretty much all circumstances. Seriously? Well, that was a short match. Let's go for one more, and then it'll be time to call it quits. But, yeah, again, thank you for joining me today. I do appreciate every single one of you. The end result is, let me know if you want to see more of this type of content. Content's not the right word. But the ones that are special about the various days, I think there's some opportunity there, and I definitely think that there's some opportunity to find some of those stories. And even if I don't have necessarily the time to really develop them into, you know, these fancy produced videos that some of the other guys do, I think my commentary, or at least my thoughts on them, I hope is unique enough for you that you appreciate it and enjoy it.
Position.
Good enough. Driver ready. Gunner ready.
All right, so now we're on Maginot Line. And I'm going to do things that you shouldn't do with a Bradley. I'm going into the town. You know, it's probably a good thing they don't give you the option to open and close that door. I'd be messing around with it like half the time. Okay, straighten up and let's roll it in. Well, 60 kilometers per hour, that's not bad at all. Ooh, taking the risk, taking the risk. And turn in. Sounds like somebody's also over here. That's the XM. Oh! Jiminy Christmas. I thought it was the XM8 that I was hearing, but it wasn't. Forgot about the KPZ-70. It's been a while since I've seen one of those. And he was right about there. And he'll be moving from there just to, that'll give that XM8 an well, I guess that XM8 is actually nowhere near it. So that loses the opportunities I thought I had. I'm going to have to dive straight into the city as soon as I get over this hill. But we're going to have to watch to see if there's anybody doing a cheeky breaky over here. Come on, baby. Okay, got a buddy that's going into Alpha now. Let's swing this direction. Come on, come on, come on. We're going to go this way. All right, he knows I'm here. He's looking for me. And he's dead. I'm okay with that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mr. XM1. It was going to be a bad day for me.
Request tank assist.
Ooh. Got the cap zone. Let's get out of here now. Ooh. I'm a little bit nervous. Ah, there's somebody behind. Reverse. Forward. Hello. Oh, no, 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 no. LVAD.
Artillery strike incoming.
Do I have enemy aircraft? Scan. Okay. Yes, it's not going my perfect way today, but that's okay. Yeah, Moxie, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the on what Deepro was asking there. There's a lot of things going on that really kind of need more context to deal with. Or at least to understand. Okay, past my Bradley body here. Get in there, get in there, get in there, get in there. Go, 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 go. Yes! I will take it.
Attention to the map. Attention to the designated grid zone. Attention to the designated grid zone.
Okay, he's bailing out to the edge of the town. I'm going to head this direction
Allied forces have captured.
and see if I can pop in around next to him.
Keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Well, I got his track, but I didn't get anything else. Hit him pretty hard. That gets me a UH-1C with some FFARs. Let's go ahead and bring it on in. Not going to do him any good. I will die quickly. No question on that.
Enemy forces have captured.
Yeah, I can understand that. Deepro. Moxie, Deepro is asking about how you see the current situation in Europe with the spies, and I will add in the sabotage that could be going on, and how much work could get with the potential for that sabotage. Your
Most of the zones are under enemy's control.
professional opinion. I take it your match didn't go very well either, is what I'm catching out of that, though. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's not a good thing for me. Okay, nice. Let's get down low. What I'm going to try to do at this BR, this is going to be hard to do, especially since I have no ATGMs on this thing. I'm going to try and swing left right here, come up behind on this waterway, stay low to the ground, and then hope somebody lines up with my rockets as I'm passing through their spawn. It doesn't look like they're gonna.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Up. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, come on. And that's everything for me. And on that note, thank you again for joining me today. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. Moxie, if you get an answer to that question for Deepro, I would absolutely love to see it as well. And feel free to add it after the stream is over if you would like, and we can all comment on it. Do appreciate all of you for joining me today. I hope you understand how much I appreciate those who have given their lives so that that in this day and age, we could be having this conversation now in the relative freedom that we have today. Again, it's an emotional situation for me at times, but worth the conversation in all ways. You guys have a great rest of your day. Ram Ranch, I see you at the last second here and appreciate you. Deepro, as always, Moxie, happy to see all of you as well. You have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next video.